and then also dive into some topics that we all have questions about, you know, even myself at times. So it'll be a fun kind of learning experience along with it too, or we hope so.
Absolutely. And if you may or may not know, with the 50-50 raffle, none of it goes to us or the team. It goes to a charity. So it's our way of always trying to give back to the community. We did totally free education for a year to 18 months. And then it's, you know, we're transforming and we want to make an impact, right? So this way we're, you know, easing into things, but we can make an impact in certain areas of, you know, different lives. Like we're expanding into Mexico right now. So there's a charity. I'm still trying to connect with the lady. We got disconnected there, but she runs a charity or a charitable cause for the dumpster kids, they call them. So they're children, you know, 2 to 5 years old, left at the garbage dump because their parents can't take care of them. No food, no shelter, no clothes, nothing. Right? So this is a way that we're able to, you know, at least put some food on the table, you know, rice or whatever. And obviously we want to grow and expand, you know. We're over or just about 200 members now. So, you know, we've got some awesome partnerships in the works that are, you know, balloon those numbers to hundreds and thousands, as well as everything with the expansion, new introduction to Bitcoin and digital assets course is ready. So, you know, we're expanding, converting it to Espanol. You know, it's been very exciting. We've been quiet, you know. For some of you on the page event, we do apologize. I do apologize. I had 2 weeks with no internet and roaming blackouts. So there's no power, no internet on the first when we were supposed to have our last event. But hopefully we're making up for it now. And yeah, I'd love to get started. I think we've got enough time, 6 minutes after. You want to take it from there, Brody?
Yeah, let's dive right into this. Just want to welcome everyone that joined us here again. Welcome, Bob. Bob, you there? Welcome, Bob, and welcome, David.
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Bob. And David C. Thank you.
Speak of the devil, David Campos, helping us with the Espanol.
Is there a way I'll be able to log in from my desktop? Watching this on my iPhone is a little difficult.
Yeah, you should be able to use the same link. You can either copy and paste it into a browser, or if you've got the app downloaded on your phone or on your laptop, you can just drop it in there.
I've got Zoom on my desktop.
Yeah, click link.
So do you use the same meeting ID all the time?
Yep. Yeah, we can. Absolutely. It'll be the same one every time.
We're slowly migrating from Zoom to Safe Chat, but waiting on some features that make it a little bit easier to share with the community. So we're testing out a few to see what works best. So we're not married to anything yet, but Zoom is the go-to. Recording function is big for us. So, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is that Ian?
Yeah, it is.
I recognize your voice.
Good.
Happy to have you. Good to see you.
What's that?
Happy to have you. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure
to be here. Yeah, of course.
It's crept up on us quick. So Brody and I have been working away since noon, 8 hours, 7-8 hours straight, something like that. Just getting everything ready, cleaning up the course. It was an awesome day, very productive.
And sorry if we're a little rusty on this stuff tonight because me and Corey created this a couple weeks ago, but hopefully it'll be exciting and informative for everyone. Some stuff, if you guys are a little bit more advanced, might be going over some of the stuff you know, but hopefully by the end you can take something away that'll help you, enlighten you, improve the way in the strategy that you go about your cryptocurrency. So I think we should just get started here if everyone's ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. So
can you tell me what the meeting ID is so I can try and log in on my desktop?
Absolutely.
I just threw it up in the chat there, if you can see that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something popped up there for a sec.
It's tricky on mobile.
Chat here. Here.
Was that the,
It's on Facebook in the group as well. You can click on it from there.
But here,
not,
the ID is, we just dropped in the chat, but I can read it out to you if you'd like.
Couldn't be a short one.
okay, read her out.
8434 25 00 002. And we'll get you plugged in here. And then just work on that, and then we'll just let us know if you have anything. We'll keep moving along with the show here. So, because tonight we've got quite a bit of stuff to work through, and we want to keep this in time discussion and stuff for everyone as well too. So we're going to go through what to look for when identifying the best performing assets. And we're going to keep going into diving into deeper concepts each time, but this is kind of just to give you a 40,000 foot view. And then each month we're going to go a little bit deeper, a little bit, dive a little better, and get a little bit more advanced with what we show everyone. And it kind of goes into our methodology and the mechanism that we like to call the simple trifecta: grow your wealth with Bitcoin and digital assets. So 3 things that you can use and take away from this meeting today, and to help you grow your wealth. And I think this is, like I said, bear with us with some of these slides, because unless I'm missing something, I don't think we have special guests tonight.
He's not answering, but we can dive through that anyways. I've got a pretty good grasp on everything with the SafePoint community, so that won't be an issue. And we wanted to spice things up a little bit tonight, so we got a little aggressive. Well, we fired up the live, the 50-50 draw unintentionally at first. We were still setting up. Worked out fine, but Brody and I wanted to spice things up a little bit for this, so we're going to add $25 each. And obviously half goes to charity, but there were several individuals that grabbed some of these tickets as well. So we'll do a draw at the end, and hopefully this catches on, gets bigger and bigger and bigger. One of my buddies won a 50-50. It was about $48,000. So, I mean, we can always dream, but once those events get to 5,000, 10,000 people, it gets pretty interesting. So definitely very interested to see how it goes. But I can share my screen here if you want to jump into the next slide, Brody.
Yeah, for sure. Here, let me jump over.
We'll get right into what to look for when identifying the best performing assets.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, you take it away, Corey.
Okay. So for most people starting out, CoinMarketCap is the go-to place for researching different coins, knowing what is out there, and figuring out what to look for. So there are certain things. Bitcoin obviously is king, but there are a lot of different other coins out there. So you can see we're over 7,000 different cryptocurrencies now, with a total market cap of over $340 billion. So that sounds like a huge number, but you get into like the gold, market itself, I think is 10 trillion, something like that. It's quite a bit bigger. I might be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that. It's a lot bigger. That's where, once you get more comfortable with Bitcoin digital assets, you can play with the smaller cap coins. So SafeCoin is one of my favorite projects. I see a lot of growth as well as adoption. That's part of why I've been such a big fan, but also why I'm using it in my own businesses to bring a level of user delight. So it's something that we can send almost instant payments, as well as sending Brody, or I've sent Safecoin to Brody before. He's in Canada, I'm in Mexico. It's quite a ways away, and snap of your fingers, it's in your wallet kind of thing, right? Bitcoin isn't quite the case, but when we're talking about actual speculation growth, obviously this isn't financial advice. There's different things that we can look at. So as we get down, top 5 is fairly safe when we're talking crypto assets. So, Ethereum, XRP, Polkadot, short, medium term, it's a fairly safe bet that you're going to see some pretty incredible gains over the next 12 to 18 months. So there is some turmoil we see coming up here, presidential elections, there's some uncertainty with COVID, are they going to keep printing trillions of dollars, pumping it into the markets, which, we figure has been driving a lot of the price action, right? Not just crypto, stock markets, gold, silver, you name it. So Polkadot has actually been creeping up quite fast. It's been exploding in value. So you can go back and see even, let's go a year. So 20. Change. Well, either way, you guys can see.
You can maybe even bring it up on trade.
Yeah, it's not cooperating. They changed a bunch of stuff on this. It's not, whatever. More advanced, less of a pain is trading view. I'll just use this to show you guys quickly. That's not the best. So DOT started out about $2. Back here. Maybe a better chart. Maybe not. It's a new coin. USD is typically the best. This might not have been the best. Just the kind of growth that some of these projects can have. So this was big, January 2019. So we got about a year, right? So some of these projects we're getting into ground floor. And even just sitting on them, you're looking at close to 3,000% growth in a year, right? So Link is a very popular project that's supposed to go long term. It's been adopted by the Chinese government for some of their oracles, likely their centralized digital currency, and a lot of other uses. So it's been growing a lot. 3,000% is a start. I mean, there's coins. There's one in 2017 that did 1,000,000%. Brody mentioned SXP or Swipe is a project that came out recently that's backed by Binance. So it's had a good correction here, big 50%. But it spiked 225% in a matter of, 4 weeks? 3 weeks?
24 days, yeah.
Right? So this is what we're facing as we move into the altcoin season. As you move farther down, you get into the top 50. This is where things get interesting. So these are ranked by market cap. So you're looking at $3 billion for the total market cap for top 10 and up, right? A lot of adoption, a lot of uses coming forth with it. There's a lot of updates with it that are going to really change the industry. So that's what I'm told, what I believe, and I don't doubt it at all. But we'll see, right? Nothing's guaranteed in crypto, but we play the odds, right? So that's where having a balanced portfolio really comes in handy, right? So you can have a mix. two or three of the top five. You've got sustainable growth. I mean, Polkadot itself, it could hit, what was the all-time high? I'm not cooperating. All-time high, 684. It was just recently. It's not the best. Ethereum, all-time high. Just under $1,500. So that's when I sold mine. Maybe it was 1350, something like that. I mean, what's it today? 480? I've been watching too much. 350. There you go. So I mean, that's a 5x gain just to get back to all-time highs. Not bad, considering that can happen in a matter of weeks, months, right? So I don't want to trail on too much,
But like,
but
pretty,
just to go ahead, bro.
from what I gather and stuff too, is just like there's lots of things you can be looking at here, but even just watching and taking a look into the different top 10 projects at any given time, because they do swap in and out, it's a safe bet. If you just put 10 different coins, you just split up your portfolio completely that way. That's what diversification at its best. So one can be a complete tank, two can be a complete tank, but probably 80% of that portfolio is probably going to shine and do some really impressive stuff. But you also have to have patience with, and that's part of the first simple trifecta is buy and hold. And that's just like lots of people try and complicate it. Literally just looking at these 10 coins, I know I've traded them all. I don't know about Polkadot, but all the other ones I have. And so like it's just a natural course of action, whatever's in the top 10. It's kind of like how Warren Buffett does it. He does 500 index funds, mutual investment, where he's just indexing the top 500 investments at any given moment in the entire world. And that's what he's putting his money on. And then so it just never fails that way.
Yeah, even top 25. You know, it depends on your risk. You know, if you want to play it super safe, stick to the top, you know, one, two. I don't include Tether. So I mean, top three. I'm not a big fan of XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot. You know, we're expecting a bit of a correction here, but if you stagger over, you know, once a month, twice a month, you'd probably be okay. Once you get into, you know, past 20, 25, it starts dropping quick, right? So you're moving 400 million, 300 million, 200 million. And these, you know, can have more reward, but they come with their risk too, right? So 0x has been doing great this year, but it can bite you too, right? So SXP, I can't remember, I think it's 140-ish. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but it just corrected 50 or 60%, right? So I mean,
That or even like Oregon Trail or like, you know, just certain across the blue, like just over the radar.
it gets pretty volatile. You know, 30-40% swings. You got to be, you know, fairly seasoned to get into some of that stuff, right? So typically, you know, look at the market cap, total market cap, top 10. You're playing it fairly. You could see some tremendous growth. Like these are really solid projects, good trading value. And you know, Chainlink is one of our favorites. So total supply, circulating supply, and you know, this is another one. You'd be wary of. Circulating supply is 1/3 of the total supply. So just, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's just something that you want to research further, right? So don't go chasing the spike, but yeah, this website gives you everything you really need. Check out the website. You want to, make sure that they're active. The social media. If you're top 10, you're playing it pretty good, playing it pretty safe. But yeah, we're always pretty ready with Kava. I actually really like that project. But
And some of these, they're just great ideas, and they're just great services that, and big problems that they're solving. They're like, they're solutions. So like, you can kind of just get behind it being a really good project. Like, it's just a really good idea once you get into maybe some of the inner working. Some of them, like, whatever, trying to figure out how the blockchain system of Litecoin might not be the most essential information you need to know like at the beginning, but it just kind of is like, you can get, there's a lot of like gut feeling with a lot of the stuff. And like, I don't know, I haven't owned a lot of Bitcoin Cash, but it's a great performing asset, but I don't really believe in what it stands for, what it's doing and stuff like that. So there's certain ways to look at this, right? Just like investing in normal stocks and stuff. Like, you invest in Tesla for more reason than it being because electric cars are in or whatever, or AI. You probably read into it deeper. Same thing with this.
it's also some insight, right? So Polkadot is arguably, a big time solution for Ethereum. So you look at the market cap, 4 billion versus 40 billion. Chances are, if you want a 10, 20x, Polkadot is probably going to get you there faster than Ethereum. It can drop just as fast. Those are some of the numbers that I look at, right? So Litecoin, it's privacy focused, lightning, fast payments, and it's fairly secure. So it's not as secure as Bitcoin, but this is where SafeCoin is one that I feel is much stronger, more secure project than Litecoin itself. That has $1 million market cap compared to a $3 billion market cap. So when you do the math on that, you're looking at 300, 3,000x, right? Like, you can kind of let your imagination do what it wants, but that's where they've got a similar total market cap. It's actually got twice the circulating supply. So I mean, that's where I get pretty excited. SafeCoin is one that I think could do 10,000x. Obviously not financial advice, but $100, $1,000, sit on it, let it do its thing. It could go to zero, but it could do some pretty wonderful things as well. Yeah, let's move on. I don't want to dive in this far. Brody, some yawns.
I think that's
pretty. Just want to know projects are fun the best.
Because it goes into a good next segment that we have with this, which is what we basically just showed everyone. Can you see this now, Scrooge? Yeah. Okay, so we don't even need to touch too much on this besides, like, that's basically what we were just kind of teaching you. It's the first kind of strategy that is probably the safest, but a lot of people, their emotions get involved and they start moving in and out of the market because of certain types of drops. But sometimes just buying and weathering the storm. Bitcoin is the longest running, highest performing long-term asset in history. If you look back on it, and we'll show you on maybe even tonight or future charts and stuff, that it's like historically, it has never failed over the long run. Like, it always keeps increasing. But that's when you start having actively trading mindset with this. And that's what we hope for by creating this group and getting people more, I think, just through education, you get more clear on what your decisions are, and then that removes all the confusion. And so I just wanted even to jump into just a simple little demonstration, Corey, on my screen of, like, I think I can turn some of this stuff off, but just to kind of get to bare bones with this and even start a new chart. Because this is the first thing that I learned, and it's at first it's kind of confusing, but then when someone shows you one time, it's actually pretty easy to see what's happening with certain coins. If you even go to like a day chart and you start just even looking at how this whole run started here, and like if you even look at it from like when you possibly could have maybe started noticing it, and I'll teach you why you could have noticed this. all the way up to when you probably could have started noticing that something bad's starting to happen at the lowest, let's say this, in 40 days, so like a couple months, there's 187. And this is just like, it'd be very easy to make this call here because I've got this one indicator at the bottom that shows you the volume, what Corey was talking about, how much volume, how much money is moving into the market on those certain days. And these bigger green candle shows that bigger players that know what they're doing and understand how to act, like really, this is how I look at it, like from my kind of like caveman brain. These people know way better than me, and these are like millionaires, active traders, people that know what's good time to market. It's just been super stagnant here for a long time, and all of a sudden people start pumping money into it right here. Why would be people pumping money into this market? Because it's about to move, right? And everything moves with Bitcoin. And that's like, you can even go back to Bitcoin and start looking at how this works and stuff too. This is a little bit more clear. And as you ride this up, you know, you might have some days where you have to see whether what happens here, but this one red candle is supported by other red candles there. And like, you can make these smaller moves here, but if you just held on to here, you can clearly see after here that something, people are selling off all their stuff. And a good trick that you learn is if things are really red after a big long spike, there's always lots of throwbacks here that is going back up to green. But you just have to educate yourself with what's happening with the markets and know when to get in and know when to get out. And that's just like the first trick that I learned looking at some of these volumes and stuff. And I wouldn't take it down too far because like you can start to look at different 5-minute charts and stuff like this, but I don't recommend anyone really like get too sucked into anything like this because that's how you lose money really quick. If you just look at it from a very outside perspective, and like hindsight's 20/20, but like when someone's looking at this, if you were a really good trader, you might have like seen this jump down here after this hard spike and started to witness, hey, you know, something's happening here. This was during COVID, so this was just a great entry point for anyone that knew what was going on, because that just destroyed the market at that point, all markets. Riding this up all the way till you finally seen all these thick reds on the day chart. It's just very clear after all this gain here, you're like, okay, I got to jump out. Like, you know, that's a longer term play. That's what the mindset that we want to get you in. Still actively trading, but not like you with the green visor and you smoking a cigarette at like 3-4 a.m. looking at charts and trying to make like 5% gains per day. I mean, I don't want to like say that's a bad thing, but I think from when you're first starting out, it's better to even get this going on right away. And then I'm not really interested in day trading after learning this way of doing things, because it's just I can sit back and do different stuff with my life. But yeah, if you wanted to add to that too, Corey.
Sure. Well, it's the great place to start, or the best place to start. Lower pressure, you know, the more moves you make with anything, any kind of trading, the more mistakes you make, right? So this strategy takes a lot of the pressure out of it. And the number one thing that we learn and teach and learn the hard way is patience, right? So you're looking, waiting, and identifying those moments when to get in, right? You might wait, 3 months for that chance, but like Brody showed, the 3 months following that, if you make 900 or 1,000%, 10x your initial investment in the following 3 months, was it not worth it to wait rather than, panic selling on the bottom of that COVID drop? Like, it didn't look that big on that screen, but really that was a 50 to 60% drop in the market, right? But that's where some of the fun is. So the name of the game that we're playing is taking calculated risk. Digibyte is one that I've been loving to showcase.
When you even look at that right now, right? Like a lot of people would even start looking at that day chart before, when you had the full historical, where it's like, oh, that thing's tanked, like, but it's almost like a spring where there's so much potential. You got to look at where has this coin came from, type of thing. Like
Yeah.
that. And look at where it could go.
So, I mean, if you bought at the top, you're looking at 60% drop by the time at the bottom, 80% at the bottom of that candle, right? I was able to make 50 or 35% in 9 minutes on that spike rebound buying back in because we know what to look for, because we're patient, and because we're waiting for that opportunity. I had funds sitting ready, rocking and rolling, and I was able to capitalize. But I didn't even get into Digibyte until later on. But I mean, it did 607%. I got in, I think it was almost a cent. I rode it up to the top, made 100%, parked it, didn't get greedy, right? Obviously, it doesn't have to be exact. Maybe use 90%, maybe use 110%. You wait, buy back on the bottom. It'd be the same dollar value, but you just increase your total portfolio size of Digibyte by 33%, right? So you started, made 100%, so you doubled your money, just made another 30%. So you're looking at 260%, and then rode it back up for another 100%. About 500% total growth in a matter of what, 12, 17 days, 2.5 weeks, right? It was about 30 days or less. I remember saying in less than 30 days. That's just one example of, not being greedy, taking profits, and just being in the right place at the right time. We've done a lot. It's, days between these larger cycles. You don't have to be perfect at everything, but be patient, make sure that's the right move. 3.5 weeks, 80%. So it's obviously a lot harder than it looks. There's a lot of emotions moving. Everything's going against you. You're getting up at the top here. Everything's saying it's going to the moon. The news, the social media, that's right when you're thinking, okay, if this goes double again, I can sell my house, quit my job. That's when you get out, because that's when you see a double top. It's typically a double top. It's always two spikes and then the drop. So I don't want to go too far on this, but
Or just like the best way to look at it too is just like take yourself out of like all the numbers, out of all the candles, and just be like, you sell the spikes and you buy the dips. As much as it feels like so like not correct, you got to get more into the mode of like, if it makes 20%, good, sell some profit. If it makes 50%, if it makes 55%, take some profit, because that's like a Goldilocks zone where like price manipulation, certain types of people that like know and understand the market, they'll push it down like just to kind of make it more compressed and like extend out the time. But that's just an easy rule of thumb for people that are looking at it.
Yeah, and it can happen. Some of these coins will do the double spike in 2-3 days, so you can, you sell some at the top, buy back on the low, and then get doubled up, kind of thing. So it sounds crazy, but it's a lot easier than you think, right? So, I mean, I work with a team of professionals. A lot of the people on this call work with that same team, Marius and the team, and the guys, right? So, I mean, with trend trading, 30 minutes to 2 hours a week, and it's 90% of my income, right? I've started 5 companies in the last 2.5 years, funded with crypto trading, with these strategies, right? You don't have to be perfect. The better you are, the more time you spend, the more time you invest in this, the better your results are going to be. But nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's going to get every single call. It's impossible. The market's 24/7, 365 days a year with 7,000 different cryptocurrencies. That's why it's important to work with a team, right? Don't do it all on your own. And, further your education, keep learning, keep trying to figure out what to spot for. There are people that are looking, there's people that we can work with, collaborate, this community itself, right? We go through a lot of really good projects. Polkadot, right? We look at 1 to 3 month trends typically, but you start looking at the 1 to 2 year trends. I mean, there's predictions of Ethereum going to $10,000, right? I mean, 50x, 25, 50x in 12 months, 18 months isn't impossible. So, what do we got next, Brody? Let's keep this
Keep this
fairly
fun train.
respectful of everybody's time. I know it's getting late already.
I think we're moving at a good pace here. We got a couple things to wrap
Perfect.
through, but this is there. And then also, like, your mind gets kind of like, there's literally limitless possibilities, because this is like money 2.0. Everything that money used to be in a service with, which is like every single thing attached to commerce, which is like the world almost revolves around money. It doesn't really, but like, you know, these are the types of things that we grew up in this capitalistic economy. We're all in, and providing a service have from your business is it's just a great way to enter into it and start learning and educating. And I think the people that you meet just by putting that co-brand that you accept Bitcoin, you know, because it's not like you're taking any type of liability or loss, because you can transfer that all to cash instantly with a lot of different merchants and services, and you don't have to take any type of risk. But, you know, take 10% off, take 5% off of your profits each month, and start saving away for your kids' education, that new car that you always been wanting, that new place in the cabin, or that a vacation spot, or extra couple vacations a year, all those types of niceties that you didn't really think were possible, when really just educating yourself with money, it's possible. Like, there's not a whole lot that's in the way. If you have even I have a story where I'm going to slowly release, but I started with $500, and I just traded that up to 5K, just flipping that, just from Marius's reports and me just haphazardly following the results while still being at a job and stuff too. So, and then now being able to go fully self-employed with this. So it's just getting creative and finding different ways that you can earn more Bitcoin, stack more Bitcoin. Go ahead, Corey.
How long? 12 months? 6 months? 12 months?
Oh yeah, for like, I was sitting on that 500, and like I could tell the horror stories too, because I would lose some of that. I think I started off with $2,000 and I started off with $7,000 and lost that, and that was in 2017. But it wasn't until I started really applying the education inside of just like little like sneaks or whatever spoiler to know it inside with Marius's reports, till I didn't start like coming every single week. It didn't start really shining, and then I think I had to really start over after COVID. And I was back. I was down at $500 at one point, and I was just like, I had $2,000, but I just, you know, making silly mistakes, making just like avoidable mistakes is basically what it was. And then so once I kind of just put my, just like not even focusing an hour or 2 hours out of the week and making a game plan. That's all it took. Because I was just kind of stubborn.
Well, there's a huge variety when we talk about providing a service, right? So it's not just accepting Bitcoin, using Bitcoin, being excited about Bitcoin. You know, there's a lot on the go, a lot that can happen, but you can be either a merchant if you have an existing business, right? Accept Bitcoin, send Bitcoin, and like Brody says, reap the savings. 5% immediately charged credit card every time someone uses that card, right? So 5% savings, especially for small or larger bills, it's not a difficult decision, right? SafeCoin is a prime example here as well. You know, it's less than a penny for a transaction, near instant, and you can get the invoice, all that fun stuff. So I'll be introducing it a lot more. I'm hoping to do some live events here in Puerto Vallarta once things open up here a little bit. But that's a big part of what we'll be doing moving forward. But, you know, even everyone sitting in this room could be a, you know, small business owner just by being an affiliate, right? So we work with To Know It, Simple, you know, pretty much anything you want to be passionate about, any company, you know, there's lots coming up you can be an affiliate for, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to generate sales or sell anything. You can be excited and find solutions for some of these coins, these projects. You know, Safe Trade has a great affiliate program, that's a small business. You can, treat taxes and everything just like a small business. Obviously, talk to your tax professional, not financial advice. This is where, you can start shifting taxes that you are paying into, expenses. It's how I started out, right? Like as a full-time employee, I was able to write off up to 40% of my taxes that I was getting deducted off my checks immediately without my consent, and get that back, put it into my business or buy Bitcoin, grow it, compound it. Just like Brody grew from $500 to $5,000, you can take that, however much, $500, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000, compound it, build a service. There's individuals on this call that I know have amazing projects where they're bringing solutions to the table. Be passionate about it, something that you stand for, something you believe in, and there's a solution. Talk to myself, talk to Brody. We love, even just sitting down and talking about this stuff, campfire stories or whatever you want to call it, and just really help shape the future, right? So we're not here to sell you anything. We do have different services that we offer, different ideas, different, projects in the works, but it's whatever you want to make this or make of this, right? So, I mean, it's almost to the point where we can start paying $20 to $30 an hour for people to do wallet setups. Just hang out with somebody and they set up a Bitcoin wallet, set up their account, get their transfer in, and that's it, right? So with the global upset, there's a lot more people working at home, from home, wanting to make that extra income. So, we're doing them a disservice by not sharing this opportunity with them, right? So, not that I'm trying to guilt you into anything, but I know we're all in this room for a reason. We cross paths for a reason, and we can achieve a lot more together than we can apart. So, let me know. I don't want to go on too much. I had a lot of coffee today, so I apologize if I'm rambling. But I wanted to, it was a long day, 7 a.m. till now. We were looking at 14 hours. So it was good, though. Passion drives me. I don't know about you guys, but there's a tremendous amount of opportunity here lying awaiting for us, and just got to take it. So was that pretty much it for tonight, Brody?
There's
Bob?
one more thing.
Oh, I totally forgot about the 50-50. That's so funny.
But
I was so excited about this earlier.
I think what we'll do is we'll just take a quick break and we'll answer any questions right now. I'm gonna unmute or you can unmute yourself now if you wanted to. And we can answer any questions. I know Bob's asking what's the best way to get.
Yeah. So typically, you can share this with anyone. hello@SOWECoin. So for events like this, for our page events, if you want to invite people, or if you've got people that are interested, we can do larger groups. We're doing more and more events. It's getting tough to do individual calls, but we're always happy to set something up, right? So you can either email me, Corey@Coinos, my business email. hello@SOWECoin is our community email for SOWECoin, or for Simple. And then we can take it from there. So a lot of this stuff, like for your own projects, we've got, I'm not sure if he's on the call tonight. I think he might have been busy, Eli. He's big into custom building cars. So I'm not sure if we've got any Hot Wheels fans in here, but you can buy your own 67 Shelby Mustang, custom built, 500-600 horsepower, and sitting in like bulletproof glass museum, and you own that car with a token that you can transfer internationally, kind of thing, right? So it's going to get really cool here. In the raffles, David, I didn't send you the link. Oh, so we've got.
All right, I think I got something special, because unless Watchman, are you willing to reveal who you are? Because other than that, everyone that bought a raffle ticket didn't show up, And I reminded
Ian's wife picked one up, I believe.
Deborah.
Deborah.
Well, actually, it was me, but I used her credit card.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, you can either win by default, which is neither here nor there, or everyone gets a chance at the pot, and everyone that came tonight can have a chance to run with it. And maybe since the charity's not here, he can win the half of it by default, and then another random winner will take the run away, and we can do maybe a quick little wallet set.
I'm okay with it. I'll step back. I'll let the community decide. But if
it's okay,
we are trying to set that up still, so
it's okay with Bob, and more importantly, his wife, then we'll be good to go.
I'm down. Do we have anyone that isn't for that? Do we have any no's? I'm not hearing any no's. So 25. What was it total, Brody?
So total, we're dealing with $40. $40 going to by default to Bob and Deborah because they participated in there.
Ian.
Ian, it shows up Bob, so I didn't really know, but yeah, sorry, Ian. And then
well, Bob, I'm watchman.
Okay.
Ian is.
You guys can split it if you want.
Ian is watchman.
Okay, well then.
I don't know how it showed up watchman, but anyhow, it turned out watchman.
I don't know. But then Bob is not. That's you too, right? I'm just trying to get this right for the raffle. I think so.
Ian invited Bob.
You invited Bob? Okay, Bob's.
I invited Bob. Yeah.
Okay. We're good to go then. So $40. Here, I got a pin. I don't even think I'm on here. $40 goes to Ian and his wife Deborah, and another $40 is going to go to a lucky winner that we're going to find out right away.
Random, yeah.
Random.
We got that wheel? We got to share the screen if we got the wheel.
I got it all set up here, bro.
So,
you guys are in for a treat. Here we go.
Awesome.
Actually, I think I might. This will kick it into share computer sound. Okay, everyone, hold your breath. See if this works.
Perfect.
Our lucky winner tonight is.
Oh! I didn't think it snuck over that line. That's too funny.
So, congratulations. Very well fought battle. You guys are all good contenders, but in the end, we all know who's the true winner here tonight, Bob. So hopefully, Bob, I think the best way to get the most out of that prize is by going through, and we can maybe even touch base on this. If anyone has questions, speak now. But we can even jump into showing everyone what we've been slaving on the last 3 weeks here, trying to get everything ready. Because to get access to some of these, to the contest earnings, if you already have a Bitcoin wallet, then great. But this whole thing is to try and make it simple and really clear, really easy for everyone. So we've created a quick starter kit course for you guys to get introduced into Bitcoin and digital assets. And Corey, you could even touch on that too.
Yeah, I think pretty much everyone here is already either in the course or passed.
Cool. Well then.
But we should be pretty safe to keep it higher level. So go ahead.
Right on. And here, just to answer the comment and the questions. How long did it take you to walk away from your job with 500? I think I missed that. Well, basically, like I said, when COVID hit, I was actually not working at the time. I was self-employed then, but that kind of changed things because I was working in a service-based business, and after that business, I knew I was going to slow down. So I went back to work in a 9-to-5, and from $500, I just kept flipping that and investing whatever I could, which wasn't much, like maybe 10% of my paycheck, and back into cryptocurrencies to just try and move that wheel a little bit quicker. And now over the last couple times. I think I flipped it like 3 or 4 times now. And each time, probably gaining anywhere from 50 to 100%, depending on how active I was looking at it. Like I said, it's getting better and better. But now that I've kind of reached that threshold now, that I can actually, pay for my bills, support myself from the earnings, because I have accumulated that amount. And once you start flipping up, I don't know if everyone's gotten into like exponential math before, but it adds up fairly quickly. 2 goes into 4, goes into 8, goes into 16, goes into 32, 64, 128. So like these things just like multiply really fast. And if you just get a pen and paper and start even doing paper trades, you'd surprise yourself how quickly. And so don't invest your shirt. That's definitely something that we're not trying to teach here, but we do want people to take, even 5 to 10% out of their profits and just start putting it away into an investment. It's just smart. It's not really a huge gamble, but and then you can even, we our focus in the future, and Corey can probably speak more on this, but investing maybe 10% into real estate. Another, maybe it's only 30% cryptocurrency. The other 30%'s in an index mutual fund that's super safe, that's fucking all tickety boo or whatever, like whatever you're comfortable with too, so you can customize this. But yeah, you don't have to invest your shirt to this stuff, because like Marius always says, we're always going to continue to make gains. So don't even worry about the missed gains or the gains you've seen on the charts today, because what we're about to see is going to blow all of that stuff out of the water. And that's like, without trying, this is all educational advice, but from what I've seen and the way that I'm going to position my portfolio, it's going to be no problem making like, wealth that can maybe even support your next. I look at it as like it could be able to support my next generation and stuff like that as well with this. So it's a good thing to start focusing your time on top of everything else that you do. It's just like put 10% of your time into this. That's how I looked at it now too. It's just diversify your time so that you can expand yourself out more and you can have more chips on the table, especially when I'm not even going to get political, but we're going through a U.S. election, and who God only knows what's going to happen when that election happens. And I'm not saying that just buying Bitcoin and holding it's the answer, but that's why sticking close to this, to know it, some of the other things and resources, not just floating around in the inner circle, but actually applying some of these resources that we have is where you're going to win. And it's where you're going to lose is just kind of like looking on YouTube and just looking at what's in the inner circle and just kind of nurturing on the free stuff, because like just without trying to be too salesy, like the good stuff is where you invest in yourself and you invest in a little bit more, and it's basically nothing. $50 a month is nothing to start educating yourself in a financial market. Go ask for financial advice from financial advisors and stuff like that. They'll clean out your pockets and stuff like that. So this is just,
they get paid regardless, right? So they take their cut. But obviously not financial advice. Education is the best step, right? Understanding what's going on, understanding how to protect yourself, diversify. A lot of people say 5% minimum portfolio of physical silver, right? So, I love silver. I love Bitcoin. I like real estate, but I'm moving towards tokenized real estate, where things are getting a little more interesting. You're talking hard assets, like there's gold-backed cryptocurrencies right now that are quite popular, getting more popular. Silver, there's a couple maybe. We're looking to bring, a lot of that stuff to the table as well as we expand here over the next few months, right? So I'm into all three myself. I know Brody's got some interest in some of this stuff as well, and a lot of people in the community have expressed interest. So not just Bitcoin, silver, long-term holds, but there's active income, trading. We've got some trading bots coming with to know it as well. So you got some passive income. We've got some offers, exclusive partnerships with Simple that are giving us opportunities that aren't available to anyone else. So, there's some arbitrage trading and stuff that we're getting into that really lets a person diversify not just their income streams but their attention, right? So you decide 30% focused on business, 70% focused on adventure. I know there's some people in here that are big into sailing, right? Sailing around the world, or not necessarily flying. It can be a little difficult right now, but you name it, right? You can really build your lifestyle around what we've built here. So that's the biggest thing: peace of mind. Not being up at 3 o'clock in the morning wondering if you made the right decision or not. So start small. We're here to guide you every step of the way, share our experiences, our wins, our losses. We're fully transparent. That's really what sets us apart from a lot of these other companies. Is I'm going to tell you, if I made a loss or got burnt, or made some good moves and got those profits, right? Anybody can ask me what coin I'm holding right now. I'll give you at least one, right? I might be holding 10, but I'll give you at least one, right? So we're not just in it for making profits. We want to make an impact, grow the community, and make sure everybody's seeing those results right away as well. So if you've got any questions, definitely let us know. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to cover tonight, Brody. I know a lot of these.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Just wanted to mention that the best way to get this is just to get the conversation going and reach out. So that's why we offer the strategy sessions. Basically, our earn as you learn blueprint. We're just going to set you up with, from our best viewpoint, what we would do, if we were in your position type of thing. And that's the best that we can do on those calls, which is really good, because if I had that when I started out, I wouldn't have made stupid plays like investing in basically straight up exit scams and stuff like that, looking for 10% profits on an automated bots and all, not to bash bots, but once you get a good foundation that's really, how to trade, and even it's not that hard, you can do it in 2 weeks, but you start off with a good plan and then you just stick to that plan. And when it doesn't work, you make adjustments, but you got to just move like a snail's pace with this, and just move in tactical moves like that, being I don't know how many times I've made too many pivot points really rapidly and kind of lost track of the whole plan. And then it's like you turning off to throwing your compass out and throwing your G and smashing your GPS or whatever, just because you get emotional or whatever it is like that. You just got to really be tactical, have a pen and paper, make your calls, come onto these calls, get cooked up with To Know It, and or book a session. These are just free resources that you can come into and start looking into.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there's nothing else, I'll close it up here tonight. I want to thank you so much, everyone, for showing up. Ryan, David, Steve, Jay, everyone, great to see you. Bob, James, definitely we should be catching up this week. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of improvements, and we're definitely evolving quickly here. So it's definitely going to be a great year. Last year was a little slow. This year is making up for it, and then some. So love your feedback. If you guys have any requests, we don't want to do too much deep dives into coins. Leave that to Marius and the guys for trend analysis. But as far as some of these projects, Track, Origin Trail, stuff to research, right? SafeCoin, there's a lot of different projects that we're involved with that you can take a larger role in. You can see the community, get a feel for what they're all about. And that's how I found my most profitable investments of all time, 100x coins kind of thing, right? So the more you invest your time, the more you get involved, the more likely you are to succeed. Just like any good thing, you get out what you put into it. So definitely let us know. I'm excited to bring more and more value. We'll get better and better at this. Hopefully, attract more and more people as we grow. But either way, we'll be here every single month, guaranteed, no matter what happens. So I appreciate everyone's time. Have yourself a great night. And I look forward to chatting with most of you this week, if not this weekend. And yeah, we'll take her from there. So thanks everyone. Have a great night, and I'll see you soon.